Comment. Comment is an explanation of the code you have just written. For a person who is reading your code, it gives him some understanding of what you are trying to write. It's been ignored by the compiler and does not affect your code in any way. For single line comment, you precede your comment with a double slash line. If you have many lines of comment, you can enclose it as a block with a slash asterisk and asterisk slash sign. I will demonstrate it in Visual Studio now. Notice this code will not affect your program. Comment. There is actually a more subtle use of comment. That is to temporarily remove a particular line. In this program, 7 lines are printed. I'll demonstrate by running the program. Notice here 7 lines are being printed. You may want to temporarily remove line 3, for example. To do that, comment out line 3. Now, if you run the program, you'll notice that line 3 is missing. That is intended. Remove it if you think that you have made a mistake, and everything will be back to normal. If you want to comment a block, Visual Studio actually provides you an easier way. Just select the block, for example from block 2 to 6, and press this icon comment out. This will give you a block comment. And if you run this program again, you notice line 2 to 6 is gone. To recover this block, simply highlight this block again and press the uncomment icon. Notice the comments, the block comment is gone, and you're back to the beginning with all the lines intact. Header files. Header file is a file that contains a group of common function prototype. Example, stdio.h, which stands for standard IO.h, and conio.h stands for console IO.h. We include the console library, and this is a standard IO library. A function prototype defines how a function is being called. It allows the compiler to compile your program correctly. The actual function is stored in a library and is not included in your program. It will be brought in during the linking process. Although you do not need to know the details, what you need to know is that you need to include the necessary header files in order to call a function. Example, if you need to call printf, you need to include the standard IO header file. To include the standard IO header file, you use this preprocessor called hex include and followed by standard IO.h. A preprocessor basically simply means that this directive or command is being processed before the actual compilation process. I'll now demonstrate the use of header file. I've created a new C code called header.c. I'll first add in the basic main structure. This will provide the entry point for your program. Notice that there's an error over here. Main is also a function and requires the necessary library to function. We will include the necessary header file to point to the library that main is included. Notice that this library standard I/O is highlighted. To select it, simply press enter and press the closing caret. The error for main is gone. Next, we can include a print statement. This print statement can also be found in the standard I/O library, and therefore we do not need to include another header file again. Say we print hello. If we run this program, we notice the screen flash for a while and the output disappeared. That's because the program is too fast and it exits out from the main. You could not see the output. To see the output, we need to pause using getChild. This getChild statement will wait for any key press before it proceeds further. Notice there is an error in getChild. GetChild is not found in standard I/O library. It's found in another library called console.io. Press enter, close. Now, if you run the program, you see display hello and it pauses for you to wait for a key press. Press any key on your keyboard and the program exits.